Well, hello there, everybody. Today is a little bit of a different day for me. And as I said before, I like to keep the negative stuff out as much as possible. But every once in a while it comes across anyways. And that's why I have waited so long to actually record this show. This particular show has been recorded several days after the fact. And I did that on purpose to clear myself and clear my mind and relax and not have a angry attitude towards the camera, towards you guys. I tried to keep this as a positive show, and I'm getting ready to tell you guys here in a minute on why it was such a negative day for me. And what happened was on this particular day was, as you guys saw on yesterday's video, I was at my delivery place, if I can speak right. I was at my delivery place and delivered this morning. Actually, it was, several days ago, but as of the video is going to be released on that day, it was actually this morning, obviously 7 days ago, because my videos are 7 days behind. And what happened was, delivered my load, and as soon as I got up that morning, I got me a reload offer. I checked it out and discovered that load didn't pick up till the following day. So, but it was also in Pennsylvania, so I quickly looked it up on whereabouts it was, and it was only, I think, like 55 or 58 miles away from where I was at. And so I wasn't quite happy with that, so I contacted my dispatcher and asked if they didn't have another load, and they said no, that's all we got, which I'm having a hard time believing that that's actually the case. And I'll tell you a little bit the reasoning why I do believe that wasn't the case. And what I think what happened was, after talking to dispatch and all that stuff, I was actually angry with dispatch. I really was, because I had like 3 days to get down there, and it normally would have only taken me maybe 2 days at the most. I could have probably done it in 2 days, and they gave me 3 days to get down there, and then just to turn around and get me to pick up this load and go straight back home. I really wanted to get some extra miles out of this trip, and I was kind of angry with that. And then on top of that, they made me sit there for 24 hours. Or almost, just about 24 hours. I mean, I delivered my load in the morning, and I was only going to be able to pick the other load up the next morning. And like I said, it was only like 58 miles away from there, so that kind of pissed me off a little bit, and it just hit me the wrong way, and I was not quite happy with that. And I was actually threatening my dispatch to just go home and quit, because I was so pissed off, I just had a short trip the last week, and again, this trip again was a short trip, and so I talked to the boss of Penner International, and we had a good discussion there, and I decided to, and at the end of the day, I decided to stay and wait for the load anyways. And well, anyways, here's what I think would happen is, they had promised this customer that they were going to pick up 6 loads out of that place, and I think they didn't have enough trucks in the area to pick up all of those loads, so they were kind of holding me there to pick up that load, or at least one of the loads, and I think that's what actually ended up happening. So I had to pay the price to sit there and do nothing, couldn't make no money. And that's what I told my boss, I'm like, or our Penner's boss or whatever. the owner of Pinners, that's what I pretty much told him too, like, I mean, if you guys would at least pay me for the full day sitting here, and then wouldn't be so bad. But we only get paid $15 an hour after 12 hours of sitting. So the way it works out is, as soon as I send a message when I'm empty, from then 12 hours after that, they'll start paying me $15 an hour until I'm loaded, or not till I'm loaded, till I arrive at the shipper. So technically I do make a little bit of money. I did make a little bit of money, but I would have made a lot more if I could have been driving a full day. And I don't know, I mean, it is what it is, and it happens out here in this trucking industry time to time, and I understand where it's coming from. And the biggest problem is right now the Canadian dollar is very, very low. I mean, it's a decade record from what I understand. That's how low it is. I mean, it's so low, it's unrealistic right now. I mean, I can't believe it's so low. I mean, it's $1.43 Canadian versus $1 US. Like, that's unbelievable. And that has a lot to do with it, because a lot of Canadians can't afford to go and buy stuff from the United States right now. I mean, it's just not worth it. They may as well just buy it in Canada, because I mean, it's just pretty much the same price, or almost cheaper now to buy things in Canada than it is in the United States because of the dollar, right? So I totally get where they're coming from, but I pretty much didn't do a whole lot that day. I went to the truck stop. I didn't even film nothing. I was so pissed off that I didn't want to even turn on the camera and show you my negativity. I didn't think that belonged on here, and figured I would just record something later on and explain a little bit on what happened. And so I went to the truck stop. The closest one, I think, was like 10 miles away from where I picked up the load. And well, later on I discovered there was one closer, but from what I could tell, that was the closest one. And so I went and parked there and pretty much spent all day there. Watched a few movies on my computer and put a couple of videos together. I think I ended up putting every single video together up to that day and uploaded. Well, I did. No, I couldn't even upload them up there because where I was, Sprint didn't even have 4G internet up there. They barely had 3G, and that was spotty even. I couldn't even really do much with that. So we didn't really do a whole lot that whole day. Pretty much took me a nap in the afternoon and watched a couple of videos, and that was evening. And then I made a few phone calls, and that was it. That was pretty much my day at that time. But anyways, I think that's about enough of this video for that day. I know it's going to be a little bit shorter and it's going to be a little bit negative, but hey, it's part of trucking. We have to accept that. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you get good loads and sometimes you don't. And even me, sometimes I get frustrated, just like anybody else. I'm just human, just like anybody else. And I was pretty frustrated on that day and pretty mad at actually too. So I didn't want to display that on this channel. So, but anyways, we'll catch you all tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will be a good day. So with that being said, stay tuned for tomorrow and see what happens.
It's time to get going. It's time to move on. Put this behind